trying to make sure. It looks like I got connection available. Waiting to see who's online. Looks like it's 2 o'clock. So I'll give it a minute and see who's online. Just want to make sure that for those who are online that you can hear my voice. I see Vanessa is online. Can you hear me, Vanessa? Can you give me like a thumbs up? Okay, I see people are signing on. Oh, great, you can hear me. Okay, so last week we had some technical difficulties right at the start, so I went straight to my cell phone this time, and so I hope this works out really well. So I'll just give it another couple seconds. Some people are signing on, and I'll just get started. And again, I want to thank everyone for your support, and I'm glad I was getting some very good feedback from everybody. I'm glad that the video that I posted last week was a help, and so I'm hoping that this drill down video will be a help. I'm going to try and focus on some different topics. Hey, Scott. So I want to focus on some different topics and go from there. And I think the big thing that everyone's looking to do is how to create the meal plan. Everyone wants to cook the food. They want to know how to organize that food, how to get everything set up. And there is no right or wrong way to do this. It's a matter of looking at the way your lifestyle is, what your food preferences are, and go from there. So first, I just want to say friends and family, clients, coaches, clients of coaches, everyone that's out there that's looking for help, I just want to thank you for joining in today. And I just want to say as a kind of like a quick reminder, I'm not a doctor, I'm not a nutritionist, but I'm offering valuable advice from my own personal experience and use of the Beachbody system, the Portion Fix system, the programs, and so forth. So I hope that any of the feedback that I get from you is based on, some of the experience that you see that I have, and that you can apply to your own journeys. So the purpose of today, I want to talk about the basics of the meal plan. I want to talk about reflection of like overall wellness. I want you to give some thoughts about your daily schedule. I'll talk about why the portion control system would be best. Obviously, there's so many different schools of thought and different systems out there, but I'll just give you my own personal take, and you guys can do what you want. I'll talk about how to choose a plan that's best for you based on your goal and activity level, and I'll spend the rest of the time breaking down the meal plan. So I hope today you get some valuable information. What's not going to be discussed, I'm not going to go into other kinds of schools of thought. I'm not going to talk about time nutrition or carb cycling. I'm not going to talk about keto or Weight Watchers or, South Beach or calculating macros, vegan. I'm not talking about that today. This is really about the plan itself. And what I want to make sure of is that the basics that I present to you, that you can go and you can apply it to your own journey and go from there. Now, obviously, if you're doing something like a carb cycling or time nutrition, things are going to be set up a little differently. But, again, this is about organizing your thoughts and on paper and moving from there. So first, I want to talk about the wellness overview. I want you to have a baseline of certain aspects of your life. First, sleep. We all talk about fitness. We all talk about nutrition. As a joke, I say the magic's in the bedroom. But that's because rest counts. Rest is crucial in the journey. It's not just about lifting or moving or eating or anything like that. It's about getting the proper rest at night. And that's to help restore your energy stores, to help muscles repair themselves, to help you grow. And if you're not getting enough sleep at night, all that work that you're putting into nutrition and your fitness is really just going to go to waste in many ways. So think about how much you're sleeping, number of hours, the quality. Look at your energy level. Is it constant? Are you really tired by the end of the night? Think about how your energy flows throughout the day. Your skin. You want to make sure that your skin is clear. Is it dry? Is it oily? A lot of that stuff could be nutrition related. There could be some medical aspects into it as well. But I mean, it couldn't hurt to look at your nutrition and the amount of hydration that you get, and to see that the quality of your skin is where it should be. Sugar cravings. I know I got a message about sugar cravings, and I originally actually was not going to talk about sugar cravings, but I felt that it was very necessary to bring it up in this video, because I want you to put into perspective the importance of planning out your nutrition and to getting the right foods into your body. Because my personal opinion is that one product is not going to get rid of your sugar cravings. Sugar cravings, and I'll go into this a little bit further, but sugar cravings is a product of, or a byproduct of, the processed foods that we're buying and we're consuming. And I'll just go into that a little bit more in detail. Hydration. Are you getting half your body weight at least of water per day? I'm not talking about getting some water and tossing in some Crystal Light, but I'm talking about getting some good old-fashioned high-quality H2O. And how much are you drinking? The more active you are, the more you're outside, kind of thing, in the heat especially, the more you're probably going to want to consume. But they say, general rule of thumb, half your body weight in ounces per day. So I also want to talk about your daily schedule. So when it comes to creating a meal plan, what works for me is might not work for you. My rule of thumb is that I want to set up a meal plan that has 3 meals and 2 snacks. Now, depending on how your schedule is and depending on how much food you need to eat, it might be 3 meals and 2 small meals, or it could be meals spread, it could be all meals. I don't know. But you really want to look into spreading your food throughout the day. And, it's really just a matter of how to help control your metabolism. If you're not getting the right amount of food throughout the day, your body is going to want to start going into like a maintenance mode, and it's not very good for your overall performance. So you want to constantly have some flow of energy throughout your body, and that's within the nutrition. Are you consuming sugary drinks, sodas, and so forth? Also, as far as your daily schedule, are you going back for additional meals or second helpings? You want to look at how much you're actually eating throughout the day. And of course, are you exercising? So if you're not exercising, it's not a big deal. You can still have progress without it. It's just a matter of how much calories you consume. So the meal plan itself, for those who are not familiar with these little portion control containers, it's based on 3 different principles. And it's based on, of course, portion control. It's based on balanced macronutrients, and macronutrients are broken down into 3 categories. That's like lean proteins and healthy carbs and healthy fats. And the system itself, depending on what kind of workouts you're doing, or if you're not doing a workout at all, it depends on the allocation of those macronutrients. Generally, it's a 30% protein, 40% carbs, and 30% fats. It's a balanced nutrition. And of course, another principle is cutting out the processed foods and the sugars. So we're going to be talking about that as we go along. Got my notes here. So with regards to the sugary foods, like I was saying before, the processed foods is an addiction. Put a tinfoil hat on me, but I'm sure that these foods are created in labs, and they're throwing in additives and stuff like that to try and make you want more of those foods. I'm not going to take a poll, because I'll be looking at your responses more than looking at the screen here, but I'll just put this out there as a hypothetical question. How many of you can open a box of Oreos and eat just one? Probably not many of you. I know I can't. How many of you can actually stop at one sleeve of Oreos? That's a question for me. I mean, I don't know if I could stop at one sleeve. But there's something in Oreos, and I'm going to say that as one example, that it just makes you want more. And it's possibly because there could be some sort of dopamine effect within these foods that make you crave this food. It's in your mind that your mind is wanting to get yourself a reward, and you get that by the satisfaction of eating the Oreo. So what you really want to look at is getting rid of the processed foods. And so the best way to do that is to crowd out the bad foods with the good foods. Now, that's probably not the answer some people might be looking for, but that is the safest bet out there. You want to eat whole foods. You don't want to be eating the processed foods. And so what I suggest is it's kind of like going into a detox. And whenever someone has an addiction, there's going to be withdrawals. Those first couple weeks could be tough. But the best way to handle that is to get rid of the processed foods and to replace them with regular foods. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to talk about the plan. And I know that's what everyone is really waiting for. And so what I want to say is when you're creating a plan, you want to keep this simple. And like I was saying before with regards to the plan that I create, I said this in the video last time, I'm not an algorithm guy, I'm not a spreadsheet guy, I'm not an app guy. I'm sure there's a lot of those tools out there. I'm a pen and paper kind of guy. So I have my paper, and probably can't see it. It's probably gonna be backwards. Yeah, it's probably backwards. It's backwards on my phone, so I don't know if it's backwards on your screen. But I take a piece of paper and I have my plan and I write down how many portions there are. Now, the amount of portions that you have, it could depend on if you're working out or not working out. It could depend on the workout that you're doing. What I'm gonna do today is I'm gonna demonstrate my plan based on Lift 4. And the reason why I want to do that is because I'm in Plan C, and if someone's in like a Plan A, and they want, which is a very small amount of servings or small amount of portions, and someone else is in a Plan D or F, they might not have a concept of how to create a plan. And so I'm in Plan C, it's kind of in the middle. I'm in a maintenance plan. And that's because when I first started Lift 4, I wanted to drop a few pounds. But after a while, my energy was low. I wasn't really getting through my workouts. And the way my body was operating, I wanted to get some extra energy. So I just went into maintenance mode. I was happy with my weight. So I bumped up from B to C. And that's just the way what worked for me. And I went from there. So I went to the nutrition guide in the program. For those of you that are in any program that has the fixed portion system, the nutrition guide is your best friend. So you want to pay attention to that. Calculate the bracket that you're in. It could be based on weight. It could be based on your goal, what have you, the amount of activity that you get. And then again, I'm sorry about the way this might look, but I take each portion container and I go, green, purple, red, yellow, blue, orange, tablespoons. And I list the number of each on a row. And I go from there and I allocate those numbers into a menu, into a template, if you will. So as far as breakfast, I like I said before, I have 3 meals and 2 snacks. And I spread it throughout the day from the morning, right before as I'm leaving for work, and until dinner time when I'm home after I work out after I get home from work, but after I work out and I have dinner. So what I do is I have breakfast, lunch, dinner, and then everything else that I have left over, I put in my snacks. So the easiest thing first is that I create a lunch and a dinner based on, just like anyone else, we all want a protein, a starch, and a vegetable on our plate. That's how, I'm sure a lot of us grew up having a protein, a meat, or what have you. If you're vegan, you'll have different proteins. A protein, a starch, and a vegetable on your plate. So for me, I have 1 protein, 1 serving of carbs, of the yellow container, and 1 serving of the green or the vegetables. And I do that for lunch and I do that for dinner. So as I'm going down this list, I'm marking down each serving. So for lunch and dinner, obviously I'm marking off 2 reds, 2 yellows, and 2 greens. And it's kind of like a little tick mark or dash or whatever you want to call it. And it's what's worked for me. Some people might do something differently. Then I have to create my breakfast. I always say that my breakfast is set in stone. I'm not a product pusher, but I'm going to say I drink Shakeology. I love Shakeology. I've been drinking it for 6 years. What I love about it is that I can take the shake and I can drink my containers. I can only choose so much food. I don't know about you, it's a sensory thing with me. I can only choose so much food. So what I do with my Shakeology is I try to put in as much as I can. Is it the right thing to do? I'm not sure to say, but it's what's worked for me. So a scoop of Shakeology is 1 red. I want to get some extra greens in there, so I'll throw in 2 greens. So I'll measure out, it's basically 2 handfuls of kale. I mean, if you really want to get down to it, you can try and stuff kale into this container and you throw it into your blender. I personally use 1 large banana to count as 2 reds. And I will throw in some homemade cashew butter and some ground flaxseed. So it's probably hard if you're just watching and not doing any note taking or anything like that, but that equates to 1 red, 2 green, 2 purples, 2 teaspoons, and 1 orange. And again, I go onto this list here and I do a tick mark for every single one that I've already accounted for. So I have that on my list. So I have my lunch and my dinners and now my breakfast. And the snacks, it's everything that's left over. So again, it's going to be hard to look at, but my snacks, I have a green, a purple, 2 reds, 2 yellows, a blue, and a teaspoon. Kind of sounds like a lot of food, but in the grand scheme of things, it's probably not that bad because I spread it throughout the day. So I have my breakfast. For me, I have breakfast around 6:30 in the morning. Again, I have my schedule. So if it's hard for you to have a schedule, you gotta try and make it happen. If you want something that you've never had, you gotta do things you've never done. But I know sometimes for some of you, especially based on what you do for a living, you don't know what's going to be from 1 minute to the next. So I get that. But what I do want to say is that I want to make sure that you try and do your best to have a plan. And so my snacks that I have at the end, or throughout the day, I should say, I'll do oatmeal, blueberries. I'll have that in the morning. In the afternoon, I'll have some eggs. For me, I'll have some ground turkey. A really quick red would be some yogurt. I personally am dairy-free. I'm personally also gluten-free by choice. It's not necessarily medically necessary, but it's just, it could be at some point. So you could do something quick and easy like that. And then I have carrots and I have hummus. So what you really want to do is you want to try and what I do is I take those leftovers and I make them into my snacks. And again, I spread out throughout the day. Now, when you're looking at these plans and you're looking at these food lists, the best thing for you to do, and I just gave you what I do for my meals, but the best thing for you to do is to look at those lists and see exactly what you plan on eating. What do you plan on eating? Those lists are set, at least the current lists. The previous lists were probably in alphabetical order, like in the original 21 Day Fix. But the current list, the way they're set up, it's based on, I guess, nutrition density, maybe. But you want to try and stick to the top third of the lists, of each list. Those are the best foods for you to consume. I do my best. Bananas, I know, are purple, and I don't believe they're on the top of the list, but it's what works for me. But you want to try and look at those top items and try and create something out of that. When creating a meal, obviously you're not going to live off of boiled chicken and boiled rice all the time and some raw baby carrots. It's going to get boring very fast. I talked about before that you want to focus on those freebies. the vinegars, the spices, the pure extracts, all those free items. That's what's going to liven up your food. The hot sauces, all that stuff is going to make your food taste better. You can create marinades pretty quickly off of some oils and some spices, and you can get it together, throw it on the chicken or fish or what have you, put it in the refrigerator and let it marinate for a little bit. Or if you're in a rush, you can brush on some oil, you can throw on some spices and toss it on the grill or what have you. So you really want to focus on that. And so that's really about it. I'm not going to take up too much of your time, but what I just want to say is it's really just a matter of taking a template, creating a template, and then piecing meals together from that. And for those of you, obviously this is from the Master Prep Theater page, you see that I'm posting some recipes, and I'm hoping that, I know some of you are trying those recipes and I'm getting some great feedback from them. It seems like you guys are enjoying it. And I'm gonna be posting more recipes, and I'm gonna show you that you don't have to be boring to eat healthy. One thing that I love about this portion system is that it's real food. We're not taking out any kinds of food groups to do anything. We all generally, I mean, I can't speak for everyone, but it's safe to say that we all like a protein, we all like a starch, and we all like a vegetable on our plate. Or if we don't like it, we know that that's what's supposed to be on it. But the key is, how much of that food are you supposed to be consuming throughout the day? And so that's what I love about this, is that it takes the guessing out of this. You can go and you can just fill up these containers. You can let the tools that you have in front of you work for you. Trust the process. The process does work, but you have to give it time, because if you're not going to change, nothing's going to change. And so that's what I just really want to say, is that you have to create your plan. And I said this on the last video, create the plan and work the plan. The plan will work. What I will say is I can offer any kind of support on my end. Those of you who are coaches, reach out to your clients and reach out to them, and hopefully this video works. Anyone else that needs extra assistance, I'm here. But I just want to let you know that we need to take advantage of the tools in front of us, and that we can go ahead and really make some very special things happen if we get organized and we create foods that motivate us to eat, and we follow the plan. It's not going to happen by just piecing things together on a day-to-day basis. Even if you do cook daily, and trust me, I am envious of anyone that can get home and cook daily. I just can't. It's just not going to happen, which is why I invest this time in my meal prep, because during the week I need to grab and go. And I'd rather grab and go from my freezer than grab and go from a drive-thru. It's just the way I am. So I invest that time then, and I sacrifice that time then. It's not, and I'm not saying it's easy, but sometimes in life you got to do what's hard to make your life a little easier. And that's what I'm trying to do. So what I suggest is, I hope this video is valued to you. I really look forward to any kind of feedback, good, bad, or indifferent, and any suggestions that you might have. But bottom line is, if you want to get rid of any kind of sugar cravings, you gotta crowd out that processed foods with good whole foods. It's not easy. It's not easy. And there is withdrawals, and there's a lot of temptations out there, but you gotta do it. I'll tell you from personal experience that if I have my plan and I eat everything on my food plan, like all my containers throughout the day, and I drink all my water, and I exercise, and I get enough rest, I don't have any cravings. And I'm just speaking from my own personal experience. Some of you out there, you might think I'm full of BS. And that's fine. That's fine. But I'm just speaking from personal experience, that if you can detox the crap out of your bodies from all that processed sugary stuff, and replace it, your body is not going to care if it's a chocolate cake or a piece of kale, your body is looking for nutrients. They're not looking for specific products. If your body is getting what it needs, your brain is not going to want a reward, and you're going to find that reward in a chocolate cake. So again, I hope this is of value to you. I look forward to any questions that you might have. In fact, I'll try and open it up to some questions now. If you guys have any questions. You've been detoxing, Sarah. But you just finished the school year, so you're allowed. It does work. It does work. So what kind of questions do you have? Even if you can't type it out quickly, or if you're not in a position to type it out, message me, and or post a comment here, and I can go ahead and respond to them. I try to get as much of it responded to as possible. If you don't respond here, you can message me. Go from there. You can message me here or message me on the personal side, and go from there. You're welcome, Scott. I hope this was helpful. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to repurpose your time. I don't want to take up any more time than you're already taking. So I just want to say thank you. Thank you, everyone, for taking time to hear what I have to say. I hope this is helpful, and I look forward to doing this again. I'll try to drill down into some other topics down the road, and we'll go from there. But I just want to say I wish everyone a great weekend, a safe 4th of July, and we'll go from there. And so you guys will be seeing my meal prep tomorrow. Okay, Deborah, if you think of any questions, feel free to ask. You're welcome, Allison. Anytime, Janice. It definitely is hard, Carrie. It definitely is hard to detox. But again, like I said, if you want to do something and it's hard, it's going to make your life easier down the road. So, all right, well, I'm going to give you back your time, and I hope you guys have a great weekend, and thank you so much. And feel free to share this video. Have a great day. Bye.